Hey, what's going on, everybody? Echo Side Fiend here, back once again, and it's a Sunday. Just kind of sitting around here. Is it cold out? Yeah, it's 33 degrees out. I haven't even been outside yet, um, but yeah, pretty chilly out here. Yesterday was pretty cold too. Last week we hit like almost 60, so I was hoping this weekend would be nice. But that's Michigan for you. I've lived here 43 years. I should probably know by now. But yeah, so just pretty much just sitting around because I'm sure everybody's probably aware there's a pretty major issue going on, which is, of course, the Steve Carino virus, as Wrestle Talk likes to call it. Um, yeah, pretty much around here in Michigan. I mean, I know every place is a little different, but here in Michigan, all the bars, restaurants, breweries, movie theaters. I know they just shut down I want to say haircut places, tattoo parlors, massage places, anything like that. So all that stuff's closed. On my route, that's actually affected my route quite a bit because a whole bunch of I service a lot of restaurants and things like that. Friday, by the end of the day, half of my route had been closed. So you'd think it would make for a pretty quick day, but of course I was still pulling up to all these places and having to go in and check them, or sometimes like the owner or a manager would be there or something, so I got to go over them with them, like if they want to reduce their inventory. And then of course I got back to the plant, got to fill out a bunch of paperwork, so it really didn't make my day any shorter. But honestly, though, my heart and thoughts go out to the people that have, are out of work right now. A bartender or restaurant worker, a whole bunch of, hair salons, all that stuff. All these people are, out of work. So my heart does go out to them. I'm not trying to make a joke about my day is going to be so much easier on my route. It sucks, because it will affect my pay too. Not as much as people who are not working, but it sucks. But my job has actually been deemed essential because of the sanitization products that we carry. Like we do chemical service for floor cleaners, floor sanitizers, hard surface sanitizers. That's just one of our many services. But of course, we also supply towels, floor mats, all that stuff. That all has to be washed and sanitized, and I will obviously help against this kind of stuff. And then our big thing is uniforms. I don't do uniforms, but our big thing is uniforms. So we obviously wash and maintain all of them. So that's good service for people to have. And then our other thing that we got right now that's just making a killing. We supply soap service, and within the soap service there's hand sanitizer. So we carry like bottles that go in a dispenser. That will open up the dispenser, put a new bottle in there, like 1,000 milliliter bottle. So we're obviously flying through the hand sanitizer, and then of course we also supply paper products too, like paper towel, all kinds of different paper towel, a couple different kinds of toilet paper, white like paper wipes, that like come in like a dispenser box. So we're selling a lot of those, and for people that want to clean, or doing extra cleaning, and obviously people are obviously more vigilant about washing their hands and everything, which everybody should have been in the first place, but whatever. So we get to keep working, which I'm glad, because I'd rather be out there doing something to help. And then of course the income is important too. I mean, I've got some savings, but I mean, if something were to happen, I probably wouldn't last very long. So I'm very fortunate that I will get to keep working for now. So yeah, just still keeping busy during the week, but yeah, the weekends get here and it's just fucking boring. I'm gonna catch up on some video games. I'm actually gonna take my Switch I got down here. I'm gonna take that out to my living room here in a little bit, see if they've added any new the retro games. And I've been playing Super Mario 3, so I'm gonna get back into that. And so just been working out a little extra over the weekends and stuff. But basically, what I did come on here for that I wanted to talk about was just with this whole virus thing. Um, what kind of things it's affecting as far as concerts and events and all that. And first and foremost, I do want to say health and safety of the general public is most important. I'm not in any way saying that these concerts and things like that are the most important thing, and I'm so upset about it being canceled. I'm just want to talk about like some of the things that I was planning on going to that are canceled, some things that might be canceled, and then obviously the whole thing with WWE and everything. So, but like I said, I understand everything that's happening is necessary, and that health and safety is the first and foremost thing that we should all be thinking about. So, But yeah, just right off the bat, I was planning on going to this past Monday. Me and my roommate, we were going to go see Amigo the Devil. If you're not familiar with him, he's fantastic. Just kind of a folk, I'd say kind of punk, sort of, but just like he just plays banjo and guitar. And all his lyrics are all about murder and shit. So my roommate found him online or something, and we've seen him a couple times. He's freaking amazing. He was going to be playing at the intersection downtown, and that got postponed. That was going to be on Monday night, this past Monday. Now, I myself am a huge Irish music fan. I've talked about that before. Every St. Patrick's Day, I take the day off, and I usually take the next day off. But this year, the day after St. Patrick's Day fell on my regular day off, which is Wednesday. So I took St. Patrick's Day off. I used to go bounce around downtown Grand Rapids quite a bit, go see different bands or musicians playing at Irish pubs and stuff. The last few years, I've just stayed at Quinn and Tui's Irish Pub, which is like my home base, man. That's like my home pub. I'm friends with the owners. The son of the owner is the head bartender. He's a good friend of mine, Rory. I've mentioned him in some videos before. So the last probably 5 or 6 years, I just go there to Quinn and Tui's and I just stay there all day, and it's packed, and they have music all day. I can walk up to the bar and Rory will see me and just pour me a pint. I always drink Guinness. I'm a regular Guinness drinker anyway. And so I'll go up there, he'll see me and just pour me a pint. Don't need to worry about waiting in line. It's a great time. I know all kinds of people that go there, all the regulars. And of course, that got canceled, and that sucked. That's like, this is the first St. Patrick's Day since I've probably been like 21, maybe 22, that I didn't go out on the town, like fucking, partying it up, and it, again, I know that's not the most important thing, but it's like, man, when that's something that you're looking forward to every fucking year and it gets canceled, fucking canceled. St. Patrick's Day was fucking canceled, That's fucking crazy. And it hits right here, That's like something I was really looking forward to. And so that got canceled. So I had the day off. I kept the day off because I got to use my vacation days, but I just fucking didn't do anything. I did a workout, went for a walk, and that's about it. And then I had the next day off, just sitting around doing nothing, and it's just it's just a bummer. And then that Thursday, Reverend Peyton's Big Damn Band was going to be playing at the intersection. That got postponed. Then some other things that I hadn't bought tickets for yet, but I was planning on going to. Life of Agony, the band Life of Agony, they were going to be here, or their show was still coming up. It was March 28th, I believe. And that was going to be on a Saturday, and they had Doyle from the Misfits was going to be opening for him. And so I was debating between that and then there's a podcast called Welcome to Night Vale, if anybody's familiar with it. It's so fucking awesome. It's done like it's a actual podcast from a city called Night Vale, where like all kinds of crazy shit goes on, like conspiracy theories and mysteries and ghosts and everything are all in this fucking place. And it's supposed to be like a little news podcast that emanates from that city. It's fucking awesome. I highly recommend it if you're into weird stuff like that. Again, it's all just it's performed. It's not real. It's just a performance. But anyway, they were going to be coming to here in Grand Rapids. They were going to be doing a live performance, and of a episode. I don't think it was going to be one that would be aired. It would be like one that if you come to see it, it's exclusive. So me and my roommate, I told her about it. She likes Night Vale anyway, and so we were planning on that. I was on the same night as Life of Agony. I was leaning more towards going to that just because I haven't listened to Life of Agony a lot in quite a few years. Regardless, though, there was two different events that I wanted to go to that night, and literally the same day they both announced they were fucking postponed, And then coming up in May, who's the main band? There's Baroness, is one of my favorite bands. They're playing at the intersection, but they're opening for someone. Against Me. They're opening for Against Me. I don't really know a lot about them. I know their singer is the female that went, a trans female. That's about the only. And I know a few of their songs, but I was gonna go see Baroness. Obviously, it'd stay for Against Me, but so I want to go see Baroness. That has not been canceled or postponed yet because that's not till May, but it probably will be. And then of course the big one for me was I had tickets for the ICP, the Wicked Clowns from Outer Space 2. I had for the stop in Battle Creek. Now that sold out before I even got tickets, and I ended up finding one on a resale site. I paid about double for the ticket, but whatever. I wanted to go. I didn't even know the tickets had gone on sale, and I went to check the sale date, and it was already fucking sold out because apparently that fucking venue is super small. So I was really excited about that. I know that is rescheduled. It is on a Friday, so I'll be able to go. Um, it was on Saturday before, so now with it being on a Friday, I'll probably end up having to get a hotel out there, just because by the time it's only about an hour and a half drive, but by the time I'm still going to work that day, more than likely, I don't know, maybe I'll look and see if I can get the day off. But if I have to work, I get up at 4 in the morning. So by the time the show gets done and I drive back to Grand Rapids, it's going to be getting pretty close to 24 hours of being awake. Now, a friend of mine, a Juggalo homie named Kyle, he does live in Battle Creek. I know I could stay at his place, but they got kids there, young kids, and I have a feeling I'd get woken up and everything. So, but if it comes down to it, I know I would be welcome there. But we'll see. But it's for me, it's just that wait is going to be fucking excruciating. I was so fucking looking forward to going to that. But yeah, just this is a fucking bummer, you know. And then the another event that has not been canceled or postponed yet, to the best of my knowledge. I'm planning on going to see Fozzy, Chris Jericho's band, at the intersection, and it's in July. It's July 11th. It's the day after my birthday. It's Saturday, July 11th. So I'm planning, as of right now, to do like my celebration that night. So I'm really looking forward to that. I'm really hoping that doesn't get canceled. That's obviously still 4 months away. So I feel like that'll be okay. But in the long run, it's like just all these things getting canceled, postponed. A lot of people are going to have tickets for these, and then maybe the postponed date, maybe they're not going to be able to go. And again, I know this is the least of our worries. I mean, I understand that, but I just, for all of us that this is something we like to do and like to go and support and go and take part in. It just fucking brings it down. It brings it down even more. So, and then of course the big one is with wrestling, which again, I know wrestling is not that important in the grand scheme of things, but this is like unprecedented, man. WrestleMania being filmed. Now they're talking about pre-recording it too. So not even like showing live, but being performed at the WWE Performance Center in front of no one. That is fucking insane, man. That's fucking unprecedented. And I've talked about this to people that don't care about wrestling, and they're like, "Oh yeah, who fucking cares? Big deal," And it's like, yeah, it isn't a big deal, in the grand scheme of things. But the thing is, so much of professional wrestling relies on an audience being there and reacting to what's going on. It helps them dictate where the match should go. Obviously, a lot of times have the big high spots planned, but maybe like kind of how they're going to build up to those high spots. All that is dictated by the crowd. Think of the Rock versus Hulk Hogan from WrestleMania, whatever it was, 13 or whatever. No, it would have been after that, 15 something. But whatever. But they literally switched heel and face during the match because of the crowd reaction. You know what I mean? It's a huge part of it. Interference coming down. Maybe somebody who's going to come and interfere in the match will appear at the top of the rampway, and the crowd reacts, and the wrestler who's got a problem with that person, they can look and react and get that face and point at them and everything, and that's all part of the fucking performance. It relies on that audience interaction, participation, whatever you want to say. Or if they, somebody comes and sneaks through the crowd and jumps the guardrail and slides into the ring and attacks somebody, and all that is reliant on a crowd being there, And then the one match of WrestleMania that really stands out to me that's going to be affected by this, they're all going to be affected by it in some way, but the Undertaker versus AJ Styles, that is going to be fucking crazy without a crowd. I mean, so much of the Undertaker's do I want to say gimmick? Maybe not his whole gimmick, but just the way he builds moves and the way he saves, because he's been around for so long, he's been wrestling for so long, he's beat up, so he saves like these big fucking moves for WrestleMania for the crowd to fucking react to. And of course, even though he's not undefeated at WrestleMania anymore, you're still not sure if he's gonna lose. So those kickouts and the close calls, all that stuff is all reliant on the fucking crowd reacting. on top of the fact that this is widely regarded or rumored, maybe I should say, that this is going to be his final WrestleMania. Is his final match ever? Assuming that it's his final match, is it going to be in front of or at an event, the biggest event of the fucking year, in front of no one, and it's not that huge of a fucking deal, but overall, but when it comes to pro wrestling, for those of us that understand it and appreciate it, it is a fucking huge deal, and again, it's unprecedented, just that this is going to happen. I've watched a couple. I watched the SmackDown from what was it, 2 weeks ago maybe, where they showed the men's elimination chamber match, but they had a few matches without, in front of in the empty arena, and it's doable. I get it, but it's just, man, this, the possibility of the biggest fucking show of the year in the industry being in an empty arena, a small empty arena, and it's changed everything. I mean, like, it was going to be in Tampa, I believe. Like, think of the fucking the loss that they're suffering. Not just WWE, just the city itself. They were going to have, like, how many goddamn independent shows come out there and set up a show for WrestleMania weekend, and conventions, and like every fucking indie wrestler on the planet is there, and just huge, events and everything, and a massive intake of money for the city. And all that's gone, and not to mention what's coming out of WWE's pocket. That's got to be a fucking massive loss for them, and I'm not so worried about WWE, but think all the little indie shows, and all the little indie companies. Some of those probably aren't going to survive this, and it just sucks, man. It really sucks, but yeah, I mean, I'm still going to watch WrestleMania, and I know they're talking about broadcasting it over 2 nights now, over Saturday and Sunday, because of course NXT TakeOver Tampa was canceled, and it probably will be a little better for me just because I work so early Monday morning, so maybe it obviously won't go as late Sunday, but I'll be watching regardless, and I hope for the best for everybody, and I know it was the right call. I know it was. Again, I mean, I know health and safety is first and foremost in this whole in this whole situation, all these times going on, but so yeah, it's just going to be crazy, and just all these events that are being canceled and rescheduled. It sucks, but obviously I'm more worried about the health and safety of everybody. For me, my parents are both almost 80. I haven't even been going over to see them because running my route, I'm exposed to so many people every day, and I'm too afraid if I do catch it and give it to my folks. My dad's not in the best health. They're both healthy, but I mean, they're for their age, it's And then my brother was having some heart issues and is in the hospital till probably at least tomorrow. We thought it was serious, but thankfully it wasn't. But they're keeping him in the hospital. But I was able to go see him not this past Wednesday, but the Wednesday before. And then after that, they fucking axed fucking people coming to see him. So I haven't been able to see him. Thankfully, he's doing okay, and he's going to be coming home. But at the time, we didn't know, and I haven't been able to go see him. And it's fucking scary times, man. And so. That's pretty much all I got. Just wanted to talk about those kinds of things, and just real quick though, the possibility of possibly the gathering being canceled, and if it keeps going out, if it keeps going, Hollow Wicked. What if Hollow Wicked got canceled? And it's just like those kind of thoughts been going on in my head while I'm running my route and all that stuff. So it's just fucking crazy times, man. A lot of uncertainty, and a lot of uncertainty towards things that aren't super important, and a lot of uncertainty towards things that are, so just crazy times, man. So basically, I just want to say, everybody stay safe out there, protect yourself, be vigilant about, doing the social distancing and washing your hands and hand sanitizer and all that stuff. Be careful being around your family. If you have elderly parents, grandparents, make sure you're being careful to not expose them. And then be smart about where you're getting your information. Don't fall for the stupid fucking memes and all that shit, and misinformation, and Alex Jones fucking tuned him right out, fucking all that kind of shit, all those conspiracy theories. This isn't a conspiracy theory to get Trump out of fucking office. I fucking hate Trump. I want him out of office, but this has nothing to do with trying to get him out of office. It's not a fucking scheme cooked up by the Democrats. This is a real fucking thing, and everybody needs to take it seriously. And and everybody needs to be safe and minimize exposure to people with compromised immune systems, and that's just what we got to do. So everybody, stick to that. Be safe. Take care of yourself, and go to the right sources for information, like the CDC and the World Health Organization and things like that. So, well, that's all I got. It's gone on for about 20 minutes. So, yeah, if you have anything to add, any events that you're missing or anything like that, leave them in the comments. And also, I'm going to leave a link for an episode of Chris Jericho's podcast, Talk is Jericho, from this past Wednesday. He had a medical doctor on, an expert in the field. It's very, very informational, about an hour long. A lot of good information in it. I will leave a link for that in the description box below, so make sure you check that out. So, well, that's all about that I have about all that I have. Good God, could not fucking get that out there. So that's about all I got today. So as always, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for supporting. This is Echo Side Fiend, and I will catch you in the next one. Too sweet.